We're going to start by taking our hands behind the right knee. Now, to do this passive glide, it's often good to let your arms stay straightish for a bit and just lean back. It's not like a rowing machine or anything, but so let your whole body become, and let your leg just drag. You don't want to use your leg muscles at all. That's why I call it a passive leg glide. So that foot, in this case the right foot, whichever leg you're using, is very heavy on the floor. You don't want to be lifting it up and dragging it. This is really about the knee, although it does some nice things for the hip. And it just gets that joint open and then moving in the right way. And then coming up and then just gently turning the foot in and out. And a common thing, I even catch myself, it is kind of throw it back and forth like that, but really the best way to do this is to be very gentle. And even keep the entire pad and mound of your foot on the floor. So the foot just turns, and it's not about the turning of the foot, it's actually about the turning of the tibia, which then moves up. And sometimes I'll even hold the knee like this and do that. And let's do the other leg. Nice release for the hips. Nice jointer size. Pretty much one of the first jointer sizes I developed out of necessity. Personal necessity. And after 2 or 3 glides, we just gently, again, nice and slow, not fast. And like I empathize, I have the same tendency to kind of want to just go quickly with it. I don't know what that is, but it's a nice slow movement. Great. And then bring the soles of your feet together. So what you want is to press right in the center of the heels and then touch the mounds of your feet together and let your toes stay open and just tap the pad of the big toe. And then tap the index toes. I haven't done this in a while. And then tap the middle toe. And the ring toe. And maybe you can feel that line of tapping all the way up through and into your hips a little bit, and then the little toe. Why would anybody want to do something like this? Well, the toes are designed to have their own voice, really have their own voice. I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis, he wrote, I think, what did he paint pictures in my left foot? I know he didn't, he was acting it, but someone he portrayed did that. And the toes go a long way with that. We are not kind to our toes, and I speak in a general way, but from 40 years of observation, we're not kind. We don't pay attention until sometimes it's far along. But to get that, now kind of do a wave, little toe to pad, back to little toe. And see if you can get, and like any joint, the more they can move in a gentle way, the more they stay lubricated, and the more they stay effective and efficient in what they're doing. This isn't a toe class today, but it's a nice thing to do. It really is. And the toes, when they're tense, in fact, just relax your toes away, listen to the rest of your body, and then press the pads of your toes strongly together, like you're gripping the floor. Can anybody feel like they grip their butt or their abs? Yeah. You're gripping something, I promise you. There's somewhere, and maybe it's because they're already gripped that you don't feel it. I feel it in my shoulders. Now, I could train my body not to tense when I do this with my toes, but it's not something I've practiced. But toes affect the whole body. So do the feet. They affect the nervous system as well. All right, let's let our legs go long. And it's also a nice way to open up the hips. Let's just, again, do a nice glide. And again, I like, and then a little wiper, and then the other leg. And the heavier the foot, sometimes I'll make sure I'm heavy. And if it's heavy, see my foot will flex, point and flex. And so it kind of keeps, and it's a very nice movement that kind of shakes the joint quite nicely. Great. Take your hands back and bring your right foot to standing. And bring the weight back into the center of your right heel. Lift your pelvis up and bring it as close as you can comfortably bring it to your right heel. And just lean back as much as you need to, and then bring about 30% of the weight to the pad of the mound of the foot. But most of the weight back in the heel. Now with your left foot, point the left toes so the left heel becomes fixed and slides back and fixed. And then very gently do this walking motion without letting the heel slide. Now again, as you draw the foot towards your knee and your knee comes up, flex your toes. And then as you point your foot, draw, and your knee comes down, extend your toes. So this is a little counterintuitive, and this is also another nice thing to do for the toes. Now look, one of the things that happen to us, a lot of people, they get that peripheral neuritis in the feet and pain. Well, keeping the nerves flowing from the bottom of your foot up through your lower back, everything can go a long way in helping you with that. Now the next time your feet are knees up and your toes are back, just relax them and just roll your leg in and out. And then roll in, point, roll out, and draw back. Again, a very nice thing for the hip joint. This is nice for the sciatic notch up the piriformis because you're doing the internal and external rotation right through that of your hips. And you can go the other way with the point and flex. And listen, there's such a dialogue going on from the bottom of your feet, at least up into your hip joint. And then let both legs go long and just compare them. And then let's draw the right, or the left leg up, sorry. Now what I do is I take all the weight back into my left heel. I lift my pelvis up, and I'm not trying to jam my pelvis into my heel. I just bring it in as close as I comfortably can, keeping my back open, and then I set my pelvis down. Then I point my right foot, slide the right heel back, and draw the foot back. And as it comes back, curl the toes, and as it goes the other way, extend the toes. And no matter how arthritic our toes are, how bad our bunions are, it's not too late to start putting some life back into them. You'll be surprised at the quality of functionality you can still get out of a joint, even if it's been compromised a lot. And that's one thing I really want to bring home. The joint exercises, and there's many that you can do for the toes, can be quite, or any joint, and go roll in and out, can really make a difference in bringing some life back into the joint. And then roll, point, roll, point. And it doesn't matter which direction you're going, you'll go the other direction again. And again, very nice for the hip joints. Great.